So, good evening. Today is still 10/8. This will be the cards of the day for 10/9. Bear with me. I'm enjoying my evening tea, a little cardamom, a little heart healthy. So, a few minutes ago, I put up my, well, actually 32 minutes ago, I put up my write up for Hills Numerology for 10/9 2025. So I'll just go line by line. I'll try and keep this short and sweet. As always, if somebody comes in and asks a question, if it's a question of relevance, then I'll answer. If it's just something that's not worth investing my energy, I'm not going to entertain it. So, holding this to you all before you even get in here. 10/9 2025. Choose the control that gives you the best guidance. And in that write up, I asked, but for whom? Is it for you or is it for your traumas? Everybody wants to get to a better position of control so that they can feel safe enough about continuing. But sometimes that's putting a band aid on a bullet wound. Sometimes that is you just trying to get into a point to where you have a better handle on your situations. And it's not about finding remedy from the situations. It's about just having a better understanding because then I can tolerate the situation so much to the point to where it doesn't bring pain. So 10/9 2025, the whole overall energy is going to really be about just trying to choose the best format of control so that you can control what you think you're going through. Again, I say this every day. Control is a dirty word. You shouldn't be focused on control. You should be focused on awareness. You should be focused on what is getting my energy. And this most important question here, why? So 10/9 2025, were you just trying to choose the best system of control that's already in control? Victimology. 8, victim energy. This is when knowledge that snake has already taken over everything. What's going on? So this is when that snake has already taken care of everything or taken over everything. Really, I said that correct. You have to think about it. If you are in a system of control, normally what has you under control has already figured out everything they need to do to keep you there. I'm in South Carolina. So if what has you under control has already made sure that everything that you run into is of its benefit, but you don't have enough awareness to understand that. When you find something that you think is more beneficial to your situation than what you already in, you'll use it. That's a victim's mindset. That's I don't care what you do as long as you give me something better than what I had. Again, the number on the card is 8. Struggle. 8, as I told you yesterday, in my numerology, is the struggle with the strongest thought in your head. If, and I even posted this the other day on Facebook, and I posted on Instagram too. Hold this to you all. So I posted this on the other day, and I'll give the example again. That Muggsy and Bugs Bunny cartoon, where Muggsy was trying to rob Bugs Bunny, but then Bugs Bunny started pretending like the police was coming, and then Muggsy got scared and started asking Bugs Bunny for help. And Bugs Bunny was like, "Sure, I'll hide you, Muggsy." He stuffed him in the oven, set the oven on fire, and blew him up. He was going to take him here, there, and everywhere. And Muggsy was like, he'd rather deal with Bugs Bunny than to deal with the police. You understand that? That's a victim's mindset. If you're willing to go to something that is already potentially harming you because it's better to deal with them than what you think is going to harm you worse. Yeah, so again, 10/9 2025, where you're just trying to choose from the control that is in better control of what you're trying to control, you're already in the victim. You're already in a victim's mindset because you don't really want to do it for yourself. You just want the safest way to do it. And unfortunately, life has shown most of us that letting somebody else do something for you when you didn't have any ability to do it for yourself, that's a problem. And again, that can go into religion, that can go into family, that can go into relationships, that can go into your job, that can go into your government. When you have a need, but you won't provide it for yourself, let alone you've been tricked into thinking that you don't have the capability of doing it for yourself, you already submitted and submissive to what you think has that authority. Perfect victim. You're always in struggle. Why? Because the strongest thought can guide you. See Bugs Bunny. Hey, Muggsy, hide in here. That's pretty much where we're at. Hey, Muggsy, hide in here. Is it safe? Sure, pal. Next line, 1099. For people that are self-employed, when I was self-employed, we didn't get a W-2. We got a 1099. That was our financial statement that we, filed our taxes off of. So this next line, 1099, what I wrote up was, are you getting paid or are you the one making payments? Is this a rent-a-center you don't even own, but you paying out the nose and ass, all because of the need to know? You need to just say no. Again, bring back up Muggsy. You need to just say no. Stop investing your energy into systems that are only draining you with the promise of one day setting you free, but you ain't seen nothing different. Again, like I said, is this a rent-a-center? Is this errands? A $400 couch is going to cost you about $3,000. Why? Because you think it's the only thing you can afford. And that is an American problem. There's a lot of people who have went that route of renting something. Hell, people do that shit all the time. You go to a car lot, well, my car broke down and I can't afford to get it fixed. So you go get a 1987 Toyota Celica, something they probably don't even make anymore, and you're gonna pay $30,000 for it when the blue book value is probably $600. But it's the only thing I can afford. And then you got sharks who gonna be, evil enough to sell it to you. Why? Because they're the system of control. They know eventually, especially around tax time, they know eventually a fool is gonna show up and buy what they offering. You get it? If you are in a position of control to where you're watching everybody else who don't have any for themselves, and then they establish these needs and they keep running to you to fulfill a need without figuring out how to fulfill that need on their own, you stay in business. You stay in business. Sorry for you. Sorry for those that are coming here. Here's your clue. So 1099, again, the initial question was, are you the one paying or are you the one getting paid? So let's just see what the cards say. It's the communication. This is the reflection. It's the duality of it. Sometimes you are the one getting paid. That's when you have already realized that control is a trick. And to be fair, that's when you have been groomed by control for so much and for so long that you don't even see it. This is what's going on. So this is almost like overseer energy. This is Steven from the Django. Think about it. In my cards, this is Oshun. Oshun serves as the reflection. The analogy for my cards, when I had these made, Oshun served as your reflection. If you see who you are, you should see everybody else's reflection. You should be able to see who you're dealing with as long as you know who you are. But if you don't know who you are, whoever you're seeing can show you whatever they want you to see. People do that every day. Well, that ain't who I thought they was. Yeah, because you wasn't on your own game. You too busy out here trying to find definition in something or someone else that you made space and allowance to get tricked. Cue in Bugs Bunny again. So if you out here in this 1099 and you think that you're the one receiving payments, the only thing that this card says at that point is let your life tell your tale. 3, the creatrix energy is really the strongest thought in your head. The strongest thought in your head is the first point of creation. What was you thinking about? Oh, this, that, and the other. Okay, so that's what you focused on and that's what got created. So in the sense of this card saying communication, dealing with this 1099, if you think you're getting paid, then life should be communicating that. You understand that? This will hurt some people's feelings, but again, hi, it's me. Hi, it's me. If you are invested in a system of belief that tells you that you have to struggle through life in order to learn how to live later, you might have already fell prey to being a victim. But again, like I said, so many people will find a reasoning process of why that can't be true because you've already acquiesced to the system itself, that's the only thing you communicate with and for. So that 1099 where you think you're getting paid, you probably already paid so much that you're only getting a stimulus check. Or again, in the same sense of taxes, you only getting a refund. You pay $60,000 to $70,000 a year worth of taxes, and you might get $500 back at the end of the year. What kind of fucking lopsided system is that? It's the only one we got. You're right. Then that's the only thing that you know how to communicate with. And if you keep making excuses for communicating with a system that does not deal fairly with you, that shit becomes your reflection. Holy shit. That shit becomes your reflection. Remember I was saying a little while ago about 10/9/2025, the only thing you're trying to do is find something that you think is going to put you in a better position of control. So going into line 3, 199. 1, the magician. The magician is the illusionist. The illusionist is the alchemist. That is the person that has the most potential to use energy. But 1 should be awareness. I should be aware of what I'm getting ready to invest my energy in and not really worry about potentially what I'm gonna get out of it. That goes back to what I was saying about being invested in religious systems that tell you to struggle now and get paid later. You ain't no better than the shutdown government. You understand that? You like TSA workers at this moment. They got to go to work, but they ain't getting paid. But we'll pay you when we get through fucking everybody over, says the government. When we get through messing everybody else up, we'll take care of you later. And you under contract. You can't say no. You're under penalty of perjury and imprisonment. Why? Because you signed the deal. So in this 1099 where you already signed the deal, again, I hope you're getting paid more than you're paying the system. That leads you to this third line, like I was saying, 199. 1 is your potential, 99 is the end game. 99 is where everything that's controlling me is already around me. Everything that I'm in control of is already around me. But again, I keep telling you, control is a dirty word. Everything that could potentially take my energy, I already see it. Everything that I invested my energy into, I already see it. See, experience is a choice. You can get to your 9, your highest vibration, by investing in something with clarity, just like you can get to your 9, your highest vibration, by misusing your energy into something that's only pulling you apart. And if you're investing your energy into things that are only pulling you apart, did it do it, or are you doing it to yourself? That is a real question. So 199, potential end game. It's not a lie. It is a potential end game. You should stop before you are forced to keep going, just like one of them laws of motion. You understand that? An object in motion won't stop until another object of equal or greater force gets in the way or whatever the fuck it is. And that's how people believe. The only thing that's going to stop this is the Lord. The only thing that's going to stop this is if the aliens come. The only thing that's going to stop this is if another country. The only thing that's going to stop this is if they stop themselves. But wait a minute. Aren't we the people? In that case, holy shit. That's all right. Just sign a petition. Just bombard my email and my text messages with a bunch of useless petitions. Like that's going to make them listen. Like that's going to make them listen and then complain when you don't get no change. But still give them all your energy. That's the end game, is keeping you giving your energy into a system that is only going to give you back enough to keep you invested and keep them going. The law of motion has already worked against you. You don't understand the end game was already taking my potential, so potentially I should stop playing games. But because I don't trust in that process, I'm going to keep playing games until something get in the way to stop me from moving, because I ain't got enough accountability to stop myself. You're a fidgety ass child. Sit down and be still. I can't. Why can't you be still? Because I can't focus. Why can't you focus? Because there's so much going on around me. Why is there so much going around you? Because they keep doing it. Well, hold up. Where are they getting the energy from? No accountability. You don't take your part of ownership, that 1099. You don't take your part of the ownership of supplying the energy. You just get mad and demand a return. 199. Potentially, you should end the game by realizing you're the only one playing yourself. Oops, free will. 0, the fool card. Ain't nobody make you cross the road, but you just have to figure out which one came first. The chicken or the egg. I don't give a shit. See, just that simple. Which one came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't care. They both available now. But you need to know, says who? Curiosity. So you're going to use your free will by investing all of your energy. 0 is the strongest force in this universe. Sorry for you. If you understand sacred geometry, the circle is the greatest symbol of all. Why? Because it's self-contained and it can contain everything else. Hexagons, pentagons, pentagrams, triangles, all of those are finite sources that have limitations. A circle is a continuous loop of self where all energy is contained, but all energy can get lost simply by freely willing it to go on a journey. That lost some of you, but you'll be all right. How do you lose your free will to go on a journey? By being tricked into communicating with a thought that is telling you there's something better to see. And then once you invest in trying to see something better, you realize you're a victim, but it's too late. That thought is already your master. That thought is the only thing you know. So 199, the potential end game is you provided your energy. You are your own Eshu. You are your own Elegua. You are the grand trickster of self by investing your energy into anything else. That's a different class. I've tried to teach that one for years. Basically, that's reciprocity. When you're dealing with a reciprocal relationship, it's not about attachment and directly investing your energy like, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. It's an even flow. That other shit, them limitations and them set up parameters, that's the finite mind. I know what I got to do. You know what you got to do. We know what we got to do together. Let's just do it. Y'all say this shit all the time. What's unspoken is already known, or however the words y'all use on that shit now. See, we just communicate. We know how each other think. Okay, well, if you know how each other think, perform. That'll lose some of you. If you know how to think and how others think, perform. But you can't because you got some limitations because you already invested your energy into what already got you trapped. And now you're the fool. You have fooled yourself by investing into thoughts that are trying to show you how to play the game. But the only thing is the game is playing you. So from there, we go into 55, what you hear me call malice, what you hear me call the chessboard, what you hear me call ember, what you hear me call the master manipulator, what you hear me call the wave of experience. Not only the wow, but the woe. The wave of experience, WOE, and the wave of experience, wow, as in holy shit, look at all this stuff I can become. This is 80s Toys R Us during Christmas. Holy shit, there's so many toys in here. Mama, I hope you bought your I hope you bought your checkbook. Because I want it all. And that was a real-time function. A lot of y'all don't have that because the world done changed. Going into Toys R Us was one of the greatest things ever. So the wave of experience, 55. This is, like I wrote up, 55. The wave of experience is a manipulative motherfucker. Most don't know they are merely chess pieces and not even the king or queen. You're on a chessboard, you're being moved around because you've already submitted your energy into following what you think. So as long as something can tell you what to think, it can take you where it wants you to go. And if you're on the chessboard and you thinking that you're in control, but you don't even have control over your own thoughts, even the queen can move around freely against her own will. The queen can get sacrificed real quick. Holy shit, the king is the weakest player on the board, but it's the most powerful in the sense to where if you capture it, the game's over. But it's still on the chessboard, so it's only as powerful as the chessboard itself. And here's the other one to mess some of y'all up because y'all like to say this shit all the time. It's chess, not checkers. You still on the chessboard. You just playing the wrong game. So 55, the wave of experience just says show up and give me your energy. I don't care whether you think you're the pawn, the knight, the rook, the bishop, the king, the queen. I don't care what you think you are. Just give me your energy and move. That is all the 55 wants is motion. 5 is motion. 2 5s is just move. So this 55 energy, the wave of experience, just wants you to show up. Death. Just show up and move. 19, that's going to come up next. Just show up and create death. What do you mean create death? Move. You understand that? Death in the sense of transmutation. Transmutation is change through motion. You are going to convert something from its original state into a desired state of existence that is better fit for the alchemist. So 19, which is the sun card, the other way I read that, it's cycles 1 through 9. Remember, you were the 0. You had all of the energy. You were in perfect shape. Now you whoop 1, potential, 2, connection, 3, creation, 4, trap, 5, trying to move around in the trap, 6, stuck in the trap and just trying to find a better way to move in the trap without hurting myself within the trap. 7, trying to move around in the trap without hurting myself and figuring out which way I moved in the trap is going to be the best version of me moving in the trap. 8 is I can't even think for myself because every time I move, I hurt myself and I'm just trying to figure out which one of them hurt less. 9 is when I figure out which hurt less, that's the best one to invest in. So cycles 1 through 9, you already killed yourself because you done ran yourself crazy because you gave all your power into them potentials of how to move when you should have set your punk ass down and been still. You should have kept your 0. You should have kept your perfection. Remember I told you 0 has all the energy? But because you don't invest in having all the energy for yourself, you fall prey to who you already gave it to. That's that 55. The 55 says, only thing I'm going to do is take your power. I'm going to steal your solar energy. I'm going to steal your soul, S-O-U-L. So from there you go to 19. The sun gives life. Holy shit, the sun just came up. 19. The sun gives life as well as causes death, as I just explained. Motion is death. Anytime you move, you're expending energy, and so therefore there is change. And that's all death is. Death is just transition. Death ain't, oh, Big Mama gone. That's finite lower level shit. That shit happens, even though it's not a permanent state of existence. That comes into attachments when you can't learn to let go and you get caught in mourning cycles and grief and all that other shit. I'm not telling you not going to have that, but those are lower level functions. That's the wave of experience. So that 19 says the sun gives life as well as causes death. But if you don't know you are the source of power, that damn fool card I show you, you might just be stuck with cancer. And I mean that in the sense of where you're running in the field of separation, cycles 1 through 9, running in the field of separation, and you can't heal because you're too busy moving in the sickness. Remember, I gave you the breakdown of 1 through 9. You so busy moving around in the trap that you're trying to figure out the best way to get out of the trap while moving in the trap, instead of being still and figuring out why you even there, or if it's even a reality, to be a little bit more deeper. You understand that? Wake up, man, man. I thought it was in a dream and I thought somebody was fighting me. It didn't happen, player. That was just your imagination. That was just images in your mind performing an action, and your conscience couldn't see that it wasn't real. So your mind responded. Holy shit, that's some Matrix level shit. You strapped in the chair being fed images, trying to figure out how you're reacting to the images, but you might not be moving. You just can't keep still. Oops. So 19 said, hey, you in the field of separation. You in the field of separation just trying to figure out how to heal, by moving through the sickness. You're going from stage 1 sickness all the way to stage 9 sickness. Urgently, can't keep still. Why? Remember I told you a few minutes ago that 4, you're trapped in what you created. You done already gave all your potential to what you created. And what's 1 plus 4? 5. You just know you got to move. Urgency. I got to figure out where the leak coming from by creating more leaks to drown myself in. Example I used to use was Popeye, one of them old Popeye cartoons, and the dam bursting. He put his finger in one hole, and then another hole happened, and he put his finger in that hole, and another hole happened. He put his pipe in another hole. Another hole happened. He put his toes in there. Next thing you know, he ran out of things to plug the hole, and holy shit, the dam gonna break. You can only try and urgently stop the holes from forming in the damned. It's gonna happen. If you focus more on the holes, Holes, than you are your wholeness, Wholleness. If you focus more on the holes, Holes, more than you do your wholeness, you weren't paying attention. It's already got your experience. It's already got all of your energy. That takes you into 10, the Lilith choice. You chose between the knife and the gun. Neither one of them gonna work out for you. Hey, I need you to choose from coming outside and let me run you over, or staying in the house and let me set it on fire. Hey, wait a minute. I got option C. How about I figure out what you're doing either one of them? See, I didn't immediately say, why don't you just get rid of the person? I got to figure out why you're trying to harm me, because maybe I can help you because you have a harm cycle within yourself. And to be fair, if I try to help you from harming me and I see where that's not a reality, then I got a choice. See, I play human with you. If you see somebody trying to harm you and you can't get away, you can figure out why they're trying to harm you and help them to stop that cycle, or you can protect yourself. Protecting yourself directly without assessing the situation, root chakra function. That's how you keep the cycle going. You just in a system of urgency, and I just know I ain't ready to leak. You ain't finna harm me first. No, I need to figure out how the fuck I place myself in this harm cycle anyway. Plus, what's going on with you? Hey man, you good? You're gonna see a lot of that. We've been seeing a lot of it. Fortunately, we've been seeing a lot of videos here and there where somebody's angry and the other person's like, hey man, you need to talk. And other person's like, yeah, man, shit just hard. But we also see a lot of the bullshit where you try and talk to somebody and their ignorance level is so high that you can't reason with them. That's fine and that's fair. You just have to be aware of yourself and your surroundings and then move accordingly. So don't get into the urgency of somebody that's trying to harm you, that your only function is reciprocating the energy. That's how you keep this paradigm where it's at. So that 10, the Lilith choice, knife or gun. Choosing poison ain't too smart. The knife and the gun are both poisons. Don't choose to exchange energies with things that only mean to take it. They already won. If something or somebody wants to take your energy by engaging you in something that is not designed for you, and you show up, they already won. You may think you're going to win because I really showed them who I was. Yeah, you did. What they want? Your energy. What you give them? Your energy. You got to learn how to think. 10, stop choosing between things that are only meant to enslave your delicious ass energy. Stop choosing. 10, this is the moon, the emotions, the ill-used ions, the illusion, shit that ain't real. Hey man, I need to talk to you. About what? Something that ain't got nothing to do with me. Holy shit, then that's not my reality. That's you and your hang-ups. You want to take my energy to come play with energy that you can't control. By now trying to control me, I'm going to have enough awareness not to step into that arena. It ain't about me. What you got going on is all about you, player. We see that in here all the time. What you got going on is all about you. You can deflect and project all day damn long. But again, if my life is going delicious and somebody's is going sick, and they want to take some of my deliciousness by introducing me into their sickness, it's a choice. You don't have to play pigeon chess with fools. You don't have to exchange energy with weaker wheels. You don't. That's an ill use of energy. That is giving all your potential to that damn 8. You done gave all your potential to what wants you to struggle. And even when you think you're the victor, you're really the victim. Because again, like I said, the only thing you wanted was your energy. So you have to understand in that 10, it shows you the whole trick. 10 is 2 numbers pretending to be 1. You need to look at this shit for what it is. Holy shit, it's a 1 and a 0. What's the 1? Potential. 1 is awareness. Awareness of this as an illusion just might stop you from becoming the 0, the amplifying source in the original fool. 1 is potential. I can use my energy to produce an effect. Oh, baby, you got so much potential. Well, how am I going to use it? By learning, by doing, motion. But I got so much potential and I ain't going to use it. Okay, well, you still got all your energy. You understand that? You have to understand the connotations of use. Somebody with potential that won't apply it, they never wasted anything. They might end up a waste by our standards because they didn't apply themselves, but that's a trick of motion too. Getting out here trying to become something that is a better fit for what's got you enslaved. That might need to be brought to the table. See, I need you to get out here and become a productive citizen so that we can keep the citizens in subduction. Here, go to college and get $500,000 worth of debt for a $40,000 job when it requires 90 to even fucking make a living as a single person. But at least you use your potential. But for who? Holy shit, Rent-A-Center. You bought a $500 couch for $4 million. But the Lord abides. See, we can take this many different ways. It's idiocracy from all levels. When you're working for a system that says, pay me now and I'll pay you later, you're fucked. You done already gave all your potential, that 1, your magic, your illusion, your ill-used ions, your alchemy. You out here trying to change something, but the only thing you're doing is being changed by losing your energy, losing your plentifulness, because you done gave all of that potential to who you think you are, but who you are is just somebody starring in a shit show called separation. This is the sacred twins. This is self-sabotage supreme. In the Yoruba stories, or even in their culture today, the sacred twins, the Abeji, the older twin sends the younger twin out first to be born, to make sure it's safe for he or she to come out. But wait a minute, that is still in that womb sense, in a metaphysical sense, them 2 children are really one. It's one soul in separation by a lot of walks. You send a part of yourself out there to make sure it's safe so that you can stay in there just in case there's a danger. You're going to sacrifice yourself just to see if it's safe. You are willing to split yourself to see if you can move out here and find the other pieces that you think you already lost. That's already a sabotage mentality. You out here trying to manifest your plentifulness by giving all your energy into what already got you pulled apart. See everything I already said. So the 1 says, you right, you an alchemist. You out here starring in a journey to find your plentifulness by tearing yourself apart. What I've said for years, you're on a search party for yourself, through yourself, by yourself, to yourself, from yourself, looking for you, but you don't know who the fuck you are. That's a bad spot. You're already 0. You have already amplified everything you put in front of you. 0 is the amplifier. Remember, I told you 0 was already the source. 0 had all the energy. If you give all your energy into starring in something that's going to make you search for your plentifulness instead of realizing it was already within, not the journey is within, not that bullshit. This is, I'm already having. Excuse me. So if you don't understand that the plentifulness was already within and you get tricked into going to a journey of definition, you're going to be less than fine. You're only going to keep using your energy externally and internally. Because as I said, that's a bullshit ass trick, spirituality trick. The journey is within, so you need to stop what you're doing and you need to learn these courses in shamanism and you got to read this, that, and the other, and then you take that knowledge within. You mean I take all these infections from out here, inside here, so I can get better about being broken in here? Because I took some broke up ass shit that they left out there that ain't never set me free, the corners to the trap. I took the limits to the trap inside my unlimited being, trying to find a way to be unlimited. If you was here a little while ago, I said at that point, all you're doing is operating as the cancer. You're making yourself sick because you're trying to find healing from the same field of sickness that only guarantees you stay sick. So at that point, you are the fool. You have amplified everything that is designed to pull you apart because you think you have to use it to hold yourself together. Holy shit, 2026. It's going to come get you. Empathy. I have moved my energy, my energy has been moved into a path. My energy has been moved into a path, and I'm trying to find out why. That's ass backwards. That's ass backwards. Why'd you write that down? I don't know. I wasn't thinking. You're right. Impulse. My energy moved into a path, but I don't know why. Well, how else is you gonna learn? Somebody just said. Who said you had to learn? Because what are you learning? You're learning more tricks of separation. Why don't you sit your punk ass down and be still and figure out what's pulling you apart? Learning is a trick. Because what am I learning? What I think I need to know in order to be a better me. But is it a better you, or is it better for you to further lose you? Strike that from the records, Your Honor, because they don't realize that connection to that 6, that foundation of already being traumatized, is really 66, self-sabotage. Why? Because 2 plus 6 is 8. Only thing I'm doing is responding to the original trick. I'm just trying to control what I think is controlling me by trying to find a better way to use the control. You are Stephen from the Django at that moment. You are more in love with the system than you are for your potential to be free. So you're willing to fight to stay enslaved because you think that's going to guarantee freedom. That is why I can sit here and talk till I'm blue in my face and say, hey man, why don't you just let go of them traumas? Why don't you try something different? And there's 500 million dissertations and reasons for why you got to keep doing the same, because you are over invested into your victimized mindset that says, I've been communicating with these thoughts on how to do things for so long that they now have all of my free will and my energy, and I'm going to keep them until I learn to get out of them. That's death. And I'm going to urgently keep moving into this emotional field of ill-used energy until I find my plentifulness and learn the proper path to move by figuring out who I am. If you move without figuring out who you are first, you're already lost. Holy sheep shit. Better figure that shit out quick. It's already been in play, but I'm telling you, you better figure that shit out quick. Because again, forecast just a few days ago, energy ain't lying. Next year, the year of the horse. Let's just hope you don't end up on Brokeback Mountain. See that one, that alchemist, that illusionist, that potential? It's already under manipulation. You trying to find an energy, you trying to find where your energy is being moved in a path that's going to show you a better you. If all the paths have already been manipulated, if everything that you keep finding has already been placed there with taints and misinformation and rewrites and allegories and alliterations and fallacies and lies and half-truths and concocted stories, everything you keep finding is only filled with that, and you find filling yourself with that, the original manipulator is the alchemist. And the only thing you're changing, as I keep saying, is you. Have a good fucking day. Fuck your feelings and fuck your couch. But you better learn to let your life tell your tale.